Hello everyone, it's Nina and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing the end of year book tag. This is a tag I participated in before. I'm pretty sure I did one of these videos last year. It was originally created by Ariel Bassett, and she's actually updated the questions to have a couple different ones for 2025. This video is a little bit belated. I feel like it's probably a better video to do right when the fall time starts, but I figured better late than never. Let's go ahead and do it before the end of the year. So with that intro out of the way, let's get right on into the tag. Starting off, the first question is, are there any books you started this year that you have yet to finish? At first, I was going to say no, although there are two books I'm currently in the middle of that I've been taking a little bit longer to finish than usual. The first one of those is the second volume of Heaven Official's Blessing by Mo Xiang Tongxue. This one I am working on for an upcoming reading vlog, where I'm going to be reading a couple volumes of Heaven Official's Blessing and reacting to it for the first time. And the other book that I'm in the middle of is The Duke at Hazard by KJ Charles. This book might be featured in another reading vlog. I'm not really sure if I'm going to continue with that one or not. Queer historical romance. I was interested in picking this up, but then I ended up starting to listen to an audiobook of a queer historical romance. So I feel like that kind of took precedence over me making more progress in this. I'm pretty sure I'm only like 100 pages in, but ideally both of these books I will have done before the end of the year. The next question is, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? And the answer is no. Actually, I feel like something I've really learned about myself recently is that I don't really like seasonal books. I really don't like feeling like I can only read a book for a very specific moment. So even though I do find myself often watching people's fall TBRs or winter TBRs, I honestly find when a book is very, very seasonal, it doesn't make me want to pick it up as much. I guess it kind of like creates an arbitrary deadline of when I have to have the book done by for it to still seem relevant, and I just don't really like that in my reading. So the answer is no, I don't have an autumnal book to read. The next question is, are there any new releases that you're still waiting for? The answer for this is no. All the books I had and was interested in, I think probably came out by like middle of September, so there isn't any books I'm looking forward to in November or December. The next question is, what are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? This is a very, very tough question, just given like how strange my reading year has been overall. A kind of like cheat answer is pretty much any of the 3 books that I have left on my 25 books to read in 2025 list. I do think I've made pretty good progress with that list. I think I've read 16 out of the 25, so over half. But yeah, I'm still interested in picking up a couple of these. I feel like I want something kind of different than what I've been reading lately, so I think Clariel might be one of the ones I go to first. Either that or The Tale of the Body Thief. I've had that on my TBR for the last 2 months, and I really, really would like to get to it, so I can kind of keep up my streak of reading 1 book in the Vampire Chronicles per year. Next question is, what are some trends you've noticed in your reading this year? Well, the only big trend is that I haven't read as much. I've talked about this on multiple other videos, but 2025 was just a really, really busy and also difficult year for us, that I just haven't had as much motivation to read. I think also kind of like coinciding with that, I've spent a lot more time like watching TV and watching movies, mostly because it's an activity I often do alongside my wife, and it's just like another way to like build in quality time. Since we have pretty different reading tastes, it's not necessarily an activity we do together a lot, whereas with watching a movie, we can like do it at the same time and then have a discussion afterwards, which is really, really nice. Also, I thought I would mention a quick like general trend I saw this year. It's something I actually made a whole reel about, and it's the kind of rise in medieval fantasy. Next question is, how do you feel about your reading goals? Any you want to change, adjust, or abandon? I feel pretty okay. I feel like I don't honestly have a lot of really strict reading goals anyway. For me, reading will like always be a hobby. Making like my YouTube channel has also always been a hobby that I'm not gonna make money off of. So I don't really feel like I should be beholden to other people's expectations about my reading. Even though I have read a lot less this year, I do think for the most part, I have had my original goal of having more quality over quantity, in that some of the books that I gave 5-star this year are probably going to be like some of my top favorites of like all time. I've definitely found a lot of series that I really, really love that I will continue to talk about and recommend on this channel. According to my reading journal spreadsheet, including these 2 books as well as 1 book that I DNF'd, I believe I'm at 41 books finished for this year. So if I could somehow really like rack up that number in the last 2 months and get it to an even 50, I feel like I'd be pretty happy with that. But if not, it's not that big of a deal. And the last question is, have you already started making reading plans for next year? This is a little bit of a yes and no. I have started thinking about which books I'm going to put on my yearly TBR, since those are usually the ones I'm most motivated to read. However, I'm not going to do a 26 in 2026. Somehow the threshold from 25 books to 26 books feels like a much more like monumental task. So I think what I might do is just pick out like 15 or 20 books for like the first half of the year to focus on. And then as my like interests change, new books end up coming out or like entering my radar, I'll kind of like reassess that list and then put like a new set of books for the second half of the year. I also have a couple books that I really want to do like full series reading vlogs for that I've been planning for the last like year or two. So I had to figure out which ones of those I want to prioritize and try and read to make videos for in 2026. So yeah, that is it for the end of the year book tag. Again, a little bit late this year, but I figure better late than never. I'd love to hear your answers for any of the questions for the tag in the comments down below. Also, in relation to those series reading vlogs, let me know if there's a series you really want me to check out that I should do a reading for the first time style reading vlog for, since I really enjoy making those full series reading vlogs. Like I said before, there's a couple that are on my radar that I want to check out and do videos for, but I'd love to hear your opinions in the comments down below. Anyway, that is going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, consider liking, commenting, or subscribing if you aren't already. Consider following me on the Storygraph if you'd like to see my reading updates in real time, as well as on my Bookstagram, which I will link in the description. And that is going to be it for me today. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!